Hello, good evening and welcome to One Life Left, Britain's favourite video game radio show. My name is Steve Curran.
I am Simon John Byron.
And...
That's it.
That's it.
I was dragging it out to make it last longer. It's just me and you, isn't it?
So we're still on schedule.
How you doing?
It is just me and you today, as far as we know.
I've often wished for that, Steve, and now we finally have this opportunity.
We've got a quiet moment, just us and our many, many millions of listeners. Hey, thanks, listeners, for supporting us last week in our charity drive for Resonance.
Yeah, it went well, didn't it?
Really, really well. We did 4 hours of broadcasting. Our podcast listeners won't have heard this because there wasn't a show last week, which we had a complaint about.
Did we?
Someone said, where is it? You know, give your caretaker a kick.
I do wonder about these people sometimes. Because these people, I mean our loyal listeners, to whom we're very, very grateful, who wouldn't know that wasn't happening. Do they not follow us on Twitter?
Well, they should.
It's the best way of staying up to date.
Follow us on Twitter at One Life Left.
But if you should have just pointed at the person who's not there, and then
just a ghostly silence.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
It went well. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, that doesn't mean you are off the hook. Resonance is still driving for money.
Well, and it was partly because of that our fundraising, One Life Left's fundraising efforts were not confined to the week of fundraising, because we like to do things a little bit differently.
Indeed, they're ongoing. So if you want, you can go to the Resonance FM website and just donate some money. Do it in the name of One Life Left. Yeah. We want that to be our legacy.
So we get the commission.
15%.
Exactly.
Because it is really, really important that Resonance raises some money in order to stay on air. It's partly Arts Council funded, but it does need your support as well. However, if you're the sort that needs something in exchange for your donation, well, we have
something for you. I mean, it's not actually something physical, is it? Well, you won't get something to keep it.
I don't know. You'll get memories.
Memories?
They're sort
of
Are
memories?
physical.
Are they?
I don't know.
Can you 3D print them?
If you're a neuroscientist, get in touch with One Life Left and let us know if memories are physical.
Yes, we announced last week that April the 12th, 2014 will be the day for One Life Left's first ever spring break party.
You said first ever British summertime party.
I did.
Isn't.
Doesn't matter. Do you know what my day job is? Yes, I thought it was British summertime, but somebody pointed out that because, well, sometimes Game City is...
I don't know. I think it always
last
finishes.
Sunday in October, the clocks go.
Right.
Anyway, well, let's just say it.
Let's say it.
First time
matter.
British summertime in 2014. We're celebrating the return of the hot weather, the heat wave, by throwing one of our legendary parties.
Which means karaoke. Means video game karaoke. If you don't know what that is, it's where we rewrite the lyrics to pop songs to be about video games. And we are selling tickets for that. You can get them now.
You can at tinyurl/sing-with-OLL. That will take you to the Eventbrite page. Now, what we're doing is we are selling 100 tickets and 100 tickets only. I think last time I looked, we'd sold 35 of those. So, we're weeks to go. It is going to sell out. So if you think that you are likely to enjoy that sort of thing, or if you've been to one of our parties before, please do head there. That's tinyurl.com/sing-with-OLL, or head to Eventbrite and search for One Life Left. Tickets are £8, and all of the proceeds, once Eventbrite have taken their cut, will go to help support Resonance and ensure that it remains the greatest radio station in the world.
We can't promise you much apart from the best time in your life, the best time you will ever have.
Well, we actually put some quotes on the Eventbrite page, some pull-out quotes from people who've attended previous events, and if you come, you could potentially be on the on the box for our next one.
So that's exciting.
Should be good. So we are without Ann Scoops. Where is she?
She is on a bus, apparently.
Is she coming towards us or going away from us?
Who knows? Maybe she's her last text message. Hold on a second. I will just read it to you now. It said, hold on. I don't know why I'm doing that. You're the one with a brand new phone.
Yep. She says...
Here we go. I've got it. First text says, Ugh, this is so exciting. The bus chucked is off.
Is off, yeah.
And I am waiting for another one, but I don't know when one will come. And
Full stop.
That was sent at 6:41.
Yep.
And then sent...
No, actually, I got it at 6:39.
Really?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And then sent at 6:58.
Brackets don't tell Steve.
6:58. When did you get this one?
6:55.
It says, I will be there for sure, but I will not be there at 7. Sorry.
What time does your phone currently say? I want to see whether this is a preferential treatment.
It says 7:08.
Does it? Mine says 7:06, which is the correct time.
Right, okay.
Well, that explains that discrepancy. We're also without our guest.
My word.
I know, who was chucked off a tram in Croydon, which I see with Ann's text. I just assumed that it was like, something like that's happening in London. But he called me earlier and said, "I've just been thrown off a tram," and I thought, "Well, God, what have you done?" I mean, he's coming in to talk about the Rambo video game. So
really?
Yeah.
That's his falling down moment.
So we're not sure whether he's going to make it either.
So maybe we should spend the next 3 minutes, because I have a feature we can play at 7:10.
Right.
The next 3 minutes talking about what we think Anne's news is going to be.
Okay.
Because then we can have a little sweepstake, maybe. I'm going to go, because we didn't do a show last week.
Yep.
And say she is going to do a Flappy Bird news story.
Okay, what's that Flappy Bird story going to be?
The Flappy Bird story is going to be that indie devs have made their own versions of Flappy Birds, in tribute to that.
Yes, she's been talking to Terry, isn't she?
Terry Kavanagh. She's been playing Maverick Bird. So if she isn't going to do a news story about that, she will be reviewing Maverick Bird.
Okay, I suspect actually that her news story about it will be that Apple and Google are not allowing clones on the store from today.
Really?
I think that will be her unique take on it. And by unique, I mean that's what Eurogamer wrote about this morning.
So what else has been on Eurogamer today?
Did they? I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to... oh, my goodness. I've put in the wrong URL.
What's it come up with?
I've gone Eurogamer.com.
And does anybody own that?
It's resolving, actually. It wasn't appearing. Okay, Eurogamer.net. So there's stuff about Titanfall there on the front page.
I was going to say perhaps she will mention that Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes will run at 1080p on the PlayStation 4 and 720p on the Xbox One, but I think that's a little too technical. I don't think
Steam game tags. That's going to be something, because there's been some controversy around Steam's game tags, hasn't there?
Yeah, who would have thought, actually, that allowing people on the internet to essentially graffiti over the store the store descriptions, like handing them the spray cans and the marker pens and go, right, you are going to do this properly, aren't you? we're going to leave this here. Right, don't mess around. And
you can imagine...
And we'll check in tomorrow, see how you're getting on.
Dutifully, like they're in assembly at school, just nodding, going, yeah, we'll be good, sir. We'll be good, Gabe.
Gabe, yeah. And then he pops, what has happened here?
I just one thing.
I thought we'd be a nice... yeah, so... Do you think that she'll mention that?
I'm certain she'll mention that. Also, I see on Eurogamer, the Lego Movie video game has beaten Final Fantasy.
Britain's number one, yeah.
And I think that seems like the sort of playful thing. She likes the Lego games, doesn't she?
She does.
So I feel like that is that'll be on the...
So we think that three of the things that Eurogamer wrote today will form at least 3/5 of her news.
Yeah, I did also I remember seeing a story recently about how Microsoft have been adopting a similar strategy to Sony's strategy at PS3, i.e., by all metrics that we understand, they're in second place at the moment.
Yep.
But Microsoft have been issuing press releases clinging to the few that show them in a positive light.
Well, what are they? Heaviest console?
Remember. Yeah. Console that One Life Left doesn't have.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been... Sorry, guys, they've been in so much demand, we've been unable to send you one, but we will have one out to you soon.
Is that what they said?
That's what they've said.
Excellent.
So
one?
They don't understand our triplicate policy.
What are we going to do with that then? Who's going to claim that?
I guess we'll draw straws. Hey, it's 7:10.
Draw straws. So which one would get it then?
The one who knows which is the longest straw.
Right, okay, so it would be the longest straw that win it rather than the shortest straw.
I'll wait and see which one I get.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a feature.
And now the shipping forecast, issued by the Fandom Office on behalf of One Life Left at 7:10 today. There are warnings of feels in Tomb Raider, Animal Crossing, and Tetris. Sam Nishimura and Lara Croft, the SS Endurance. Boarding school romance, cosmopolitan aristocrats. Rumors of shipwreck, greatly exaggerated. Blathers the Owl and Brewster the Pigeon. Bruthers. Domestic, bookish, quiet, erudite. Possibly still a secret. L. Tetromino and J. Tetromino. 4x4. Extreme flexibility. Chiral forbidden love. Now the time is 7:10. On behalf of the Fandom Office, I wish you a quiet night.
Good news. So I was just putting a call out on Twitter because we don't have guests and we don't have Anne. So essentially the content for the show has disappeared. So what I thought we could do, as is fashionable these days, is to do an Ask Us Anything. So we put the call out on Twitter. You can ask us anything. You know, you and I have got years of experience in the games industry, and you know, if there's anything that you've ever wanted to know, just drop us a quick tweet. But as I was composing that tweet, I typed in, we have no guests and no Anne, so we are a radio show without content. Quick, ask us anything. I then put a hashtag, and I was hashtag AMA, which is what they use on Reddit. TweetDeck decided to fill in the hashtag, or try to predict the hashtag that I was going to use. And the tweet I noticed just before I hit return was about to conclude with hashtag amateur upskirts. So we could have got an altogether different set of questions. So,
have we had any questions yet?
Well, let's have a look. Rawl Ricky says, why can't I stop watching Twitch Plays Pokemon?
So have you heard about Twitch Plays Pokemon?
I have, but maybe our listeners haven't.
So Twitch Plays Pokemon is a stream on twitch.tv, presumably / Twitch Plays Pokemon, where 30,000, 50,000, what's the number at the moment?
A number of thousands.
A number of thousands of people are all trying to play Pokemon, one game of it simultaneously. So by typing in the chat window, your words are passed into button inputs. So it's mostly them trying to navigate around the world while 50,000 people have their sweaty hands on the controller.
So who's running it?
I don't know. Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Okay, so
I have no idea who it is.
Right.
Someone said that. I think it's ingenious.
Yeah.
It will only work with certain types of games. I was thinking about setting up Twitch Plays Resogun.
Right, yeah.
I can't imagine.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So how comes Rawl Ricky can't stop watching it?
Because it's really, really addictive. They're trying to do the simplest tasks like cut down a tree or navigate around a maze. But all it takes is one person in that 50,000 to time their trolling input at the right point, and the stream is 40 seconds behind the chat input, so people have to account for that as well. And it becomes a case of, you're really, really willing them to get around this corner, and then at the last minute they fail. It's just quite tense and really, really euphoric when they manage to do these simple tasks. So yeah, totally understand it. And it's funny as well. It's basic slapstick comedy.
But you've not answered his question. You said you understand it. He didn't ask you to understand it.
I understand the compulsion behind him watching it. So I think I have answered the question.
How's your streaming career coming along?
We did One Life Left Sunday surgery on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think this was our third attempt. And we played Outlast again, which was scary.
Have you not finished that yet?
No, because there's 5 of us and we're all quite bad at games.
Are you taking it in turns to say the next move?
We're not. We're all sort of... What happened on Sunday was we hid underneath a bed most of the time.
Right, okay.
And occasionally got out and clubbed to death. So that was fun, and we played DC Online Universe, in which we created a superhero called Shakira, Shakira, as viewers watched, and occasionally invited us to join their clans because we were attractive girls.
Right. Seems like that's all you need. Talking of attractive girls, Lisa Forrest has tweeted us saying, are there any video games aimed at animals, like for them to play?
interesting question. I was thinking this the other day that there should be really an iPad game, shouldn't there, which an animal can paw at. You see them playing
on
Fruit Ninja
on YouTube and stuff like that.
I've seen cats playing Fruit Ninja because there's lots of things moving very fast.
Do you think Lisa, who we should explain, lives with you? Mm-hmm. Do you think she's sent that in specifically because there's something up with your kittens?
Yeah, maybe they need distracting. I did place them in front of YouTube the other day.
Right.
This is actually video game related. Thanks for reminding me, Lisa. I placed them in front of a YouTube video for cats that I'd found. It was a video of fish in an aquarium.
They do love fish.
So I set that to loop and went out for the evening, came back from my evening out, and that window had been minimised and discussed. Instead, TweetDeck was open, and what was open was a tweet from Jamie Woo,
right?
Author of Meat Grinder,
yeah,
a book about Grinder,
right? And
it was about the situation to do with gay rights in Uganda. And one of my cats had attempted to reply to that.
Right, nice.
The reason that's to do with video games is because Jamie is part of our One Life Left erotic photo hunt team, which will be starting up again at GDC.
Ben Borthwick writes, there is an actual iPad game for cats, and he gives the URL and his iPad game for cats.
Look at us facilitating user interaction.
Classic VG Music says, One Life Left, which games are you voting for in this year's Classic FM Hall of Fame of voting at... And then he links to the website. I mean, that's excellent work there, using our misfortune to promote that campaign.
It's a good day to bury bad news.
Isn't it? I would say favourite classic video game music, the Skyrim theme for me.
Really, is that up there though? Because presumably we have to pick from a selection.
So we have a look.
Click on the link. We've got time. We've got another 40 minutes.
Well, let's have a look. Cara Ellison, billionaire game journalist Cara Ellison, tweets, do you think we need more dogs in games? Should dogs wear hats? Will this be the year of cats in games?
We need fewer dogs. Fewer dogs. Games. There are already too many dogs.
There are certainly fewer dogs in the games of Splinter Cell Blacklist that I play, because you can very easily, just with the X button, kill them.
You can kill dogs in Hotline Miami as well.
Okay. Can you kill dogs? You can't kill dogs in Call of Duty, can you?
Well, you are a dog, aren't you?
Yeah, but can you kill other dogs?
I don't know. Does your dog die in Call of Duty? I'm not sure. Cara, we're an inclusive radio show, and we think that there should be all types of video games for everyone, regardless of content. So yes, was her question a yes/no answer?
It sort of went on a bit.
Okay.
Yes. So the video games, I've gone to the Classic FM Hall of Fame website, and you can cast your vote. Now you can put anything in.
Anything.
Should we put the One Life Left theme?
Yes.
I'm doing that now. Left theme. Okay, any more? Ask us anything. Anything else? God, I'm having trouble with my computer here. Robert Mitchell asks, what's your high score in Flappy Bird? And what would we do with $50,000 a day?
Do you know, I did not download Flappy Bird.
Oh, so you can't get it officially. Mine is 7.
7? So you've been playing it more. You swore off it on a score of 0.
I did, yeah.
But is it one of these? Is it the case that since it's been banned, you know, it's become cooler, and only limited amount of people can play it, and so you're interested?
Yeah, I thought I just couldn't understand why so many people were playing, and I thought maybe I'd missed it.
Right.
So I went back and checked it out. I tried to enter the One Life Left theme into the video games voting, and it says we can't find what we're talking about. Do we mean Blumfield, Felix, Etude for the Left Hand, Op 36? I don't even know what that means. Or Sergi.
But the answer is no.
Exactly. What do we put no?
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no. So it was 7. Lou Reed tweets, how cool are arcade games in pubs, even if they are Star Wars ones? Star Wars sucks. Do you like Star Wars?
So, arcade games in pubs, very cool.
Very cool.
Did you hear about the Trocadero?
No.
It's gone. It's done with February 28th, so not quite done.
Right.
But, or it might be 25th, something like that. End of February, Trocadero, the last of the arcade games are being ushered out. It's being turned into a fancy hotel.
What?
That's it.
Let's go and chain ourselves to it. What's your fondest Trocadero memory?
I've got a good answer to this, and I might have said it on One Life Left before, but 20 past, and we've got a lot of billing to do, so just fast forward this bit. Go and make yourself a cup of tea. I had to write an article on Dance Dance Revolution for The Face magazine, and ended up going down to, I posted on a DDR forum that I was going to be writing this, and if anyone was good at DDR, could you come along and play it and tell me what was so compelling about DDR. Went down there, and I paid for these guys to play DDR for an afternoon. It was amazing, really, really excellent to see what they did. But then time came to put in my expenses claim, which was 50 quid in pound coins, and it said reason for expenses, and I wrote getting small boys to dance for me.
Did you have any problems with accounts?
Got a query.
Did you?
Explained it, and then they gave me my 50 quid.
Excellent.
So that's good.
Simon Wan tweets, and why? I noticed earlier that he said, what are your most anticipated games of 2014? Get out, we're busy. We're doing an Ask Us Anything. Well, let's ask you anything. Where have you been? What have you done with our guest?
I'm so sorry.
You weren't travelling through Croydon, were you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Welcome.
We don't advise it. They've had transport difficulties.
One of the guys involved in the Rambo video game has been thrown off a tram in Croydon.
What?
I know. Proving single-handedly that violent video games make you violent. We think, or it could have been a transport issue with the tram. We're not sure.
Probably violence, though, right?
All right.
You ready?
1 second.
We've given you more than 1 second. We've given you
Okay,
23 minutes.
Go. Uh-oh.
Video game news with Ann Scoops Scantlebury.
It's 7:24 on Monday the 17th of February. I'm Ann Scantlebury, and this is the news. Steam has been given user-defined gaming tagging.
Yay!
The system set up to help people find games in the massive library is currently in beta. Valve has already had to add a function to report labels for being offensive, abusive, not appropriate for the product, not a helpful tag, or a spoiler. This comes after people started using the tags for trolling and lolling. For example, Gone Home was labelled as a walking simulator, Dark Souls was described as casual, and Fez was tagged with Diva Dev. Well done, everyone. You must feel proud.
Right, we've covered this. Michael Cook has tweeted to say there was also research done into improving pig well-being using iPad games. You play with them, and the URL for that is playingwithpigs.nl.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Do you want some water? You're overcome with Anne's arrival.
Sorry, that was all a bit.
We've been through this story,
Oh,
Anne.
have you?
Yeah.
What can you just let me know what else you've covered so I can just cross anything?
You will know. So what struck you about that story in particular?
People are idiots, aren't they?
Aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, it's so.
Should
so
this
funny.
have come as a surprise?
No, of course not.
Didn't come as a surprise to us,
No, it didn't.
clearly.
No, but they probably did it so that everyone had a little bit of fun, got a little bit of news, and then they were like, "Oh, don't worry, everyone. We've got this under control. We're shutting it down."
So as I understand it, the way that this is moving forward is that you now on Steam get recommended some tags for you to follow based on the games that you've already purchased, and it says, oh, you might be interested in free-to-play games or something like that. I assume those are moderated, and actually the raw list of tags is not so interesting to Valve. It's the ability to kind of hand off the management of a library which is ultimately getting so big that it's impossible for them to...
They can't be expected to do that, can they? They don't know what they're selling.
Well, they kind of... Like, that's the way it's going, right? They've got... How many games are on Steam now?
Well, I own 500. Wow. I know.
Really?
That is ridiculous. I started buying them a year ago. It's just bundles. Literally buying bundles.
Insane.
I know. I'll tell you exactly how many.
500 games.
Let's have a look. Oh, no, sorry, 400. 397.
Wow.
I mean, still a lot, isn't it? I mean, it's not as lot as 500. That's statistically true. But yeah, no, 400. Isn't that... And that's... Yeah. That's dreadful, isn't it?
But it isn't the problem that you look at your list of games and you don't know...
You actually can't get rid of games out of your Steam library. I don't want to hide... You can favourite them and all of that sort of stuff, but yeah.
I noticed someone released a game this week or recently starting with backslashes, so they'll be at the top of the list.
Did they?
Very clever. Very clever.
Well, it's
Very
been going
clever.
on in quite a sort of So someone released started with loads of A's, and then I think there's been 007 has been at the top for a while, another game before that, and someone's twigged that backslashes will put you right at the top. So it's an indie. I think it's a British game. I'm not sure. Right. I deliberately didn't download it because I thought, you rotters, ruining punctuation just to.
How do you pronounce that?
Backslash.
But if there's a lot of them.
Backslash. How many do you want?
Tough, it's tricky.
It's tricky,
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
They're not really looking after their players for that, are they? Apple and Google are rejecting clones of removed titles. Flappy Bird. Oh, for goodness sake. Apple is blocking Flappy Games because they leverage a popular title, while Google is labelling clones as spam. The change in policy doesn't appear to affect any of the current games on the store. Speaking to Forbes, developer David Wynn explained that he removed the game because it had become a problem. Thank goodness radio doesn't have the same standards.
How do you feel about this, Anne? No, not that story. The fact that so far we're 2 for 2.
I think that it means that we have a consistent news agenda.
Well, interestingly, see, Steve thought you would. Well, he thought initially that you'd cover the game jam of the Flappy Bird, because you've been playing.
Yeah, but I'm going to talk about that later.
As predicted. We don't need Anne, do we? We could just run through what we think she would do.
No, don't let me go.
I worry that you've become too easy to predict.
No. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to do something off the wall soon.
So, does this come as any surprise?
Oh, yeah, actually, it does.
You see what's number 2 in Google Play?
What is it?
It's not Flappy, it is...
Flippy?
So I downloaded the number 1 Flappy Bird clone, and it was called
Clumsy.
Iron Pants.
Clumsy Bird.
Clumsy Bird was number
1 now. It's a top free app.
So I downloaded something called Iron Pants, which is, I think, number
Doesn't even sound
2 or
like it.
something.
That's something
when I
completely
looked at
different,
it.
Steve.
And it
doesn't
looks...
say Flappy or it doesn't say Bird.
Well...
Yeah,
you guys can judge.
Too essential.
I'll load it up. It's basically exactly the same.
You want us to look at your iron
I
pants?
want you to look at my iron pants. There you go. And there it is. And you can see there's some...
I mean, I guess...
That's
yes.
Flappy Bird, actually, rather than iron pants.
Yeah.
There's been an error in the store.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. So there are some winners and losers. How do we think Dongatori, the author of Flappy Bird, as he's known on Twitter, how do we think he's feeling right now?
Sad. I think. Sad.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because I thought the reason I was so sure you were going to cover this in the news is this is a big story, I think, and we were away last week when it kind of broke, so I thought you wouldn't want to miss out on it. So you're going to look for an angle, which is why you dropped this in rather than just read it as the first story on Eurogamer. So I think the really interesting part of it is still him. It's not the clones, and it's not how Apple and Google are reacting to those clones.
I found it really interesting what he said in his interview with Forbes, which was that, hey guys, this is just supposed to be a nice little game that you play like when you're feeling relaxed, and suddenly everyone's getting really, really into it, and it's becoming a bit of a problem, so I'm going to stop it.
But he hasn't stopped it, though, has he? Given that Clumsy Bird is now the top free.
But he's
Google...
stopped his involvement in it. I guess he's just absolved himself.
It's like saying, well, I'm no longer going to set fire to this thing that's already burning. I've stopped igniting it.
But I'm not sure that is...
It's not his fault, is it? No, but almost certainly what you've got now is, he came up with the idea, he did it first, and now you've got everybody else enjoying the benefit of his success.
Well, it depends how you consider what benefit is.
It's the $50,000 a day,
but that is a benefit to some people. I don't think that's a benefit
Wouldn't
to
benefit
everyone.
you.
I would love it.
Okay.
I think now.
Let's make a game then.
But, I was saying this to a friend the other day, that the idea that suddenly, as soon as we right now are saying our lives would be so much better if suddenly we were making 50 grand a week. It'd be so much easier. That's our problem. When you suddenly have that happening to you, that doesn't mean you don't suddenly find bigger problems and problems that occupy the same space in your head as that desire for the 50 grand a week, is right now. And I think that's... I found a lot of people crowing on Reddit and forums across the internet going, oh, there's something suspicious going on. Who turned down 50 grand a week? Well, maybe if and when you get that 50 grand a week, you find out that it causes more problems.
Oh, I completely agree with that, and I absolutely sympathise with the fact that you've got somebody who did not ask to be under the spotlight, under the intense scrutiny. And everybody thinks that they know best. Listen to us talking, as part of it, but but as noble as his intention to stop the problem is, in inverted commas, it's just been replaced by exactly the same problem by people who are a lot less worthy and noble than he is.
I don't think he was trying to stop the problem so much as just step out of it.
Right.
Which, and stop the problems for him, which is all you can do in that situation. I think you can't stop a fire unless we develop the inverse to Angry Bird. What is the opposite of Angry Bird?
Well, I did see one PR agency last week say, "Oh, we can't wait for this," and it was like flappy fish.
Angry Birds. I said Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You meant flappy ones, didn't
Flappy
you?
Birds. Whatever.
Birds are everywhere. Nominations for this year's BAFTA Games Awards have been announced. Up for Best Game are Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Grand Theft Auto 5 The Last of Us, Papers, Please, Super Mario 3D World and Tearaway. The ceremony will take place on March the 12th and we are looking forward to receiving our invitations in due course.
Tearaway. It's going to be Tearaway, isn't it?
Going to be a runaway success.
I think so. It's a great game, British studio, nice guys.
Yeah.
And I think there'll probably be an award for Papers, Please as well, because that's that's an impressive game on many levels.
How are they voting for them this year? Is it still the same as always?
Still the same panel situation, I think. Both you and I have been on those panels.
Are we
allowed to talk about that? I think we're probably not.
No, shall we then?
It's not an official secret act.
You can talk about it.
Yeah. Guys, whisper what you want to say and I'll pass it on.
We were on the panels. It took ages.
They were on the panels and it took ages.
Incredibly frustrated with some of the panels I've been on.
Some frustration with the panels as well.
Someone tried to hit me.
Somebody tried to hit one of the members of One Life Left.
I was on a panel with a man who didn't like me for something that I said 15 years ago.
You were pretty offensive 15 years ago.
Certainly true.
We were on a panel together once, weren't we?
Were we? Which one was
Happy
that?
Days. I don't think we're allowed to say.
Okay.
It was most artistic game.
We are very artistic.
They looked at us and were like, those are some guys into aesthetics. Anyway,
yeah, I do. I wish, because obviously it was the film BAFTAs yesterday, and they were voted for by all the BAFTA members have the opportunity to vote, and I believe this year. In fact, I know. Sorry, that they've opened the voting out, so there may be some panels, but I do know that any BAFTA member can now, certainly the games that are available digitally, and definitely the ones on PC, have the option to review those in the same way that BAFTA members can review films, which I think is brilliant, because I'd begun to feel a little uncomfortable with how closed those groups were. There was one a few years ago when I looked around and it was just white men voting on games, and I thought that was terrible. So yeah, now I know a few people that are BAFTA members, and they've been overjoyed with the fact that these games, you become a BAFTA member on Steam or something, and they just appear. And then he was like, I can't believe it, I've got this game, and but then he was unhappy because it looked like Ubisoft took theirs back off him.
amazing.
It looked like so he was like, I've got Far Cry 3 and I've got Assassin's Creed. Like, well, that's cool. And then he comes in and says, they've gone. and he's like almost quite rightly going, why would I vote for that then? So, obviously, I say quite rightly, that shouldn't impact your...
But it does.
But you sort of feel a bit put out by it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I doubt Ubisoft games will be winning.
We didn't have that one, Anne.
No.
Good.
Also, we may not have had this conversation.
Interesting. The man in charge of PC gaming and entertainment strategy has left Microsoft after 6 months in the job. Former Valve employee Jason Holtman spoke to Games Industry International when he joined the company and said, "Yes, I've joined Microsoft, where I will be focusing on making Windows a great platform for gaming and interactive entertainment." Microsoft confirmed the departure but didn't announce a replacement. Looks like someone else who couldn't get on board with Windows 8.
Or maybe it took 6 months to sort out.
And he's done it.
Yeah. Why do you have to take that?
Signed off.
Yeah. It was easier than I thought.
It's working really well.
So, exactly. Right. On to a new challenge.
Yeah.
So you'd stay there, would you, having fixed it?
Oh yeah, I'd walk around basking in the glory.
Finding this or would you eke it out? I find this really difficult.
Yeah, guys, I might need a pay rise and an assistant.
Right. Well, it's a good job that he was. He took that job, sorted it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 months though.
What should he fix next?
I guess maybe he should move on to the wider community and maybe take on some social problems.
Maybe he could go back to Steam and do the tags.
Well, I guess if he's got nothing else to do, maybe a bit of data entry might be all right. And finally, good news! You'll never have to leave your sofa, and never again will you have to say the dreaded words Xbox off. An Xbox One media remote has been spotted on Amazon. It'll cost about 20 quid. It has buttons that you can press and looks a lot like a TV remote apart from the Xbox logo. You could just use your controller or the Smart Glass app, but can you imagine your life without this? Thank you, Microsoft, for more things we can lose down the back of the sofa.
Are you using your PS4 as a media hub?
No, because they've limited most of the functionality of the PlayStation 3. So you cannot play... I mean, I'm not sure why you would want to do this, but you cannot play .mkvs. I mean, I don't know where you'd get those from. Yeah, I'm not even sure what they are, Anne. But you can't...
MKV.
It's what Simon uses to play all his anime.
Yeah, you know, like that stuff.
Specialist.
No, that's what I. That's the format that my anime, the anime that I produce, I output into MKV files.
Okay.
You have to use something called MKV2VOB actually to working on a PlayStation 3.
Wow.
Yeah, and you cannot either, I understand, play files over your home network. Is that right?
That's right. It has.
And you can't play 3D Blu-rays. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, they wouldn't say... The 3D Blu-ray thing is kind of weird. The home media hub thing, the ability to play files over the network, is just something I believe Shu said, oh, we just haven't added it yet. We'll add it in an update.
Right.
So maybe that will come later. But yeah, it's a bit weird that it's less of a device than the PS3. Is that stuff available in the Xbox One?
I don't think so either. I think both of them have been crippled for digital files, and the conspiracy theorists believe that is because they want you to buy the stuff rather than try and stop it falling off the internet, if that was what you were up to.
Right,
that is quite a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I see. Well, we didn't have that story either.
No.
What else did you think I was going to do?
Yeah, we went through that, and then we got bored, and then we started doing an AMA and an AMA. So, but we nominated 2 stories, and they were in there, the first 2.
Well done, guys. You've got me down.
One life left. Video game news with Ann Scantlebury.
Chapter 72, Minecraft. When a little-known game becomes a hit, it can be a real boon for an actor's career. So when I started reading about how much money Minecraft was making, my heart leapt. I had worked on that game in the early 90s. As far as I recall, it involved me spending several days in a studio somewhere on the west coast of America. It was an abstract game, and I think they added quite a lot in post. All I can remember is that they painted my face yellow and had me sit behind a screen with just my head poking out. The director asked me to say "ooh" at random intervals, then go cross-eyed quite frequently. Ever so often one of her assistants would come along and put some incredibly dark sunglasses on me, they'd film me for a few seconds, then remove them. I never saw a script as it was a devised piece, but I think the director was trying to say something about capitalism. Obviously I'd been painted yellow, representative of gold. Perhaps all the oohing was about global warming, as in, ooh, isn't it hot in here? When I went cross-eyed, that might have been something to do with workers' rights, and the sunglasses symbolism is obvious. As a capitalist, I was in the position of being a cool dude with expensive sunglasses. I'm no academic, but that's how I see it. It was pioneering, politically powerful work, as these indie games tend to be. Anyway, that's my involvement in Minecraft. Although I was surprised to see that my yellow painted face doesn't appear on any of the official artwork. And they never used the word craft when I was there. There was a lot of sweeping though. And I haven't seen much in the way of royalties either. Notch, get in touch.
Fight me, huh?
Tommy!
Come on! Yeah, man! Get out of the way! Let's go!
Stop it!
Come on! Alright! Hey! It's just a game, right, Valley Boy? You like games, right, Valley Boy?
Loves games.
Tonight, meet me at Bronson Canyon Halfpipe, 9 o'clock. Joust.
Yeah.
Be there.
No, you be there!
You shut up. Big bad guy. Wexford Valley. How'd your lip feel, buddy? Hey, where do you think you're going?
Dog club!
You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. We were just catching up.
Catching up.
We normally do that before the show. Didn't get a chance to do it today because Anne was late because
sorry.
of buses.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. This is... It's hard to tell what this is, I'll be honest, because my numbering system on the CDs has gone mental because one of the tracks didn't burn. But it is, I think, it's Defiant Systems, and it's a track called Bronson. And it's excellent. You can find it on chipmusic.org, like all of our brilliant music. Go there now. What are you up to, guys? Why are you both on your phones?
Because the other thing that went wrong today is that we couldn't print the letters out.
Did anything go right today?
But I think we're holding it together, aren't we? And that is why you need to donate to Resonance FM right now. If you haven't done that, go there, give them a tenner for all of the brilliant One Life Lefts you have heard, or all of the acceptable ones, or maybe just because you feel sorry for us. You can also buy a ticket for our event on April the 12th. Buy that now by going to
tinyurl.com/singwitholl.
We're doing karaoke and you can be there, but tickets are very limited, so get that now. Have you found some letters?
Yes, go on, stick the theme on.
All right, we have to get going. My God, this is nearly reviews o'clock. Hold on. Here we go.
Email, messages and forward BCC. One Life Letters.
Bob Mallet writes, subject, living in the future. Bob says, I've been playing Resogun and Assassin's Creed 4 on my PS Vita using remote play to my PS4. The part that blew me away is that I'm sat in a Houston hotel room and my PS4 is back home in England. This weekend I'll be playing Lego games with my son, couch co-op, just thousands of miles away. Are we truly living in the future? Regards, Bob. Brackets a man called Bob on Twitter.
I mean, that sounds phenomenal.
Imagine if a younger you would heard that you'd be able to do this. You would think this was the future, wouldn't you?
I genuinely believe we are in the future.
I agree.
Like, this is... So much stuff is just incredible right now. The things we can do.
I tried playing Resogun like that, though, but couldn't because it was too sort of twitchy and the video was not...
Bob's got really fast reactions,
Yeah,
though.
he must be better than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really, really exciting. I'm excited about playing the Lego game. I think we might do that next One Life Left Sunday
good.
Surgery.
Yeah, right. Thanks for writing in, Bob. Future confirmed.
Dear Anne, and the rest of you all, plus any extras just hanging around. For reasons too complicated and dull to explain at the moment, I'm living in a hotel for 2 months.
Hello.
Yes.
With Bob?
Yes, it is a bit like Alan Partridge, isn't it? You are definitely not the 137th person to have said that to me since I moved in. Anyway, as a result of the boredom, I bought a 3DS and have developed a dreadful Animal Crossing addiction. It's all going okay, except I've developed a crush on one of my fellow villagers. Bonbon is simply a delight. Her house is the best, and she always has a kind word to say to me. However, I've clearly been so-called friend-zoned. In fact, Eliza, another resident, seems somewhat over-keen, baking me cakes, designing me t-shirts. How do I deal with this love triangle? And what is the strangest video game crush you've ever had? Brian?
Well, the strangest video game crush I've ever had is definitely Lammy from Jamma Lammy.
I don't...
Yeah.
You remember the semi-sequel to Parappa?
Yeah.
She was a lamb.
Right.
She played guitar.
Yeah.
She was a bit indie.
You like that, don't
She
you?
had
You like
nice-
all those three things.
Yeah, she had nice hair. She was a bit annoying, but cool.
But you
as
also
well.
like that as well.
Yeah, definitely do. Simon, what about you?
I quite fancied Meryl in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
But I don't think that's strange because she was beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have a strange... I just really fancied Dante out of Dante's Inferno.
Didn't you?
But that's not strange. That's just like he's clearly very... Like he's
Tamim.
He's made to be attractive.
Interesting.
And
We
my
should
eyes saw that.
We should get Tamim on the show. See how it goes. Okay, I've got one from Paul Lee here. It says, Dear team and super special guest, absent.
Yep.
I've been watching the OLL Saturday, Sunday surgery shows. That's the TV thing we're doing on Twitch. And they got me thinking it looks really cosy sitting on that sofa playing games together. Thank you.
It is.
This, in turn, led me to thinking that the team could do something similar to the show Sex Box.
What?
Well, I guess it's a logical step to take, isn't it?
Oh, you're cozy. Oh, your arm
Why don't you have
reaches around.
sex?
oh, you're in a box.
where you would invite super special guests on, lock them in the room with you, and force them to play games until everyone's satisfied. And then they can come out and you can judge them on their performance. You could call the show, I don't know, Sex PlayStation or something. Regards, Paul.
Well, are you guys into that? You're the streamers.
Interesting. Maybe we could. That is clearly the way to get viewers, is to do something slightly salacious. So maybe that's a way forward. Thank you for that, Paul.
What we were just catching up earlier. I understand you were also late for the stream on Sunday, Anne.
Yeah.
Is it 3 strikes and you're out? Is it?
Something like that.
Yeah. Right.
We should.
3 tube strikes and you're out.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
For writing in. Please do send us letters.
team@onelifeleft.com.
I suppose we should have a little bit of music and then get straight on with the review section, right?
Go on then.
This is a cover of My Bloody Valentine's Sometimes. It's by Here Between Me, and something very exciting's just happened.
The door opened, and I have to say, we were just getting to a really juicy part of the off-air conversation as well. And it's Will Curley. Hello, Will. Well, our guest has arrived. We're so glad you could make it.
I didn't know whether to whisper or
No.
just bang the
How
door.
long were you stood out? You've been out there for 45 minutes, have you?
I made it through the gates about 10 minutes ago.
Did you?
I kind of sort of went up the stairs, met the
Did
lady.
you?
Yeah,
Right.
she told me, and I thought better not interrupt till the music came on, and then
No, you should have
I made my move.
Always interrupt.
Always interrupt. Yeah, we were just whirring on. Thank you so much for coming. We were worried. What was this incident on the tram? We were worried.
Yeah, some kind of police incident.
Was it anything to do with the Rambo video game? That's what we've been speculating.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was anything to do with that. So I went back and forth, sort of past work, and then back to work, and then to Wimbledon, and then stood around, and yeah.
Well, thank you.
Quite a journey.
Yeah,
It is quite a journey.
Yeah, I'm glad I made it.
But you made it.
Yes,
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
So this is Anne, and that's Steve.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
This is Will.
Right.
Will's going to talk to us about the Rambo video game, which I have had my eye on. Well, I've always been a fan of the Rambo video game since the old Ocean top-down.
Yeah.
I could whistle the theme to you, Anne, if you so desire, but we don't have the time.
Don't.
Without
unfortunately.
time.
And Will, we've been chatting about it for a long time.
You played it at Gamescom.
Gamescom.
You're one of the few people that we managed to get time to show to. Yeah,
And
that was cool.
I thought it was ridiculously brilliant. Like exactly as a Rambo video game
What
should
sort of
be.
game is it?
So, Will.
Yeah. So kind of think of it as a modern day interpretation of a kind of Operation Wolf.
Okay.
So the movement of your character is controlled by the computer, so kind of on rails, but then combined with a more modern kind of cover system. So rather than just picking off the enemies as accurately as possible, you have a kind of chance for a bit of kind of back and forth as they kind of wear you down, and then you can recover and then fight back. So we tried to make something that was really in keeping with the kind of 80s spirit of the movies.
My son, 5-year-old boy, can do that thing with his tongue where he makes a machine gun noise. Can anybody here do that?
No.
I can't do
We
that.
should get him in.
You were
Well,
making a lot of noises on One Life Left Saturday Surgery when you were playing DC Online Universe,
Yeah,
weren't you?
but that's not one of the noises.
No.
Pow.
Well, the reason I ask is that, you know, the image of Stallone from Rambo, which is top off, machine gun,
Yeah.
bullet belt, just going. That's what this game is. Like, it's over the top. People exploding,
Yeah.
Because Rambo turned quite graphic, didn't it?
The level of violence in the game is more in keeping with the
Rambo
latest
4,
movie rather than the original
Rambo 4.
3 that it's based on. So yeah, we do have a lot of people getting blown into chunks, which is
that's good.
What
but it starts with First Blood, doesn't it? It goes through.
Yeah. So you're basically following the story. Linearly through the first 3 movies,
which includes the first person bit of escaping from the police station.
Yeah. Well, that's like a third person QTE.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the kind of like Shenmue throwback part of the game, which is really cool. And then obviously in First Blood, Rambo actually is kind of known to be non-violent.
That's right.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage to the town, but not so much to the police officers. So you can play it in a non-violent way by going for non-lethal shots on the police, or you can stun them, or you can, if you want to, just kill all of them. If you prefer to play that way. And then through Rambo 2, where he's in Vietnam, and Rambo 3, where you're fighting in Afghanistan versus the Russians.
That's where it all kicks off.
Yeah, that's where you get the famous helicopter being taken out by Rambo driving into it in a tank. Which when we released the trailers for the game, people weren't ready for that. Because these days you see in the latest Battlefield, you got like skyscrapers falling down, but the
tank into helicopter
big finale from Rambo 3 kind of beats that, driving a tank into a helicopter.
We're going to have to get on with this because we've only got 10 minutes left to get in our reviews and another feature. So
do we? Right, we should play the feature. We should do very quick reviews.
Do reviews, then the feature.
Okay.
Simon, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the Amazing Spider-Man on PlayStation Vita. It is a open world 3D, it's essentially GTA with you as Spider-Man. I believe it's based on a home console version, which I've not played. But this is it's a bit shonky in places, but it's incredibly ambitious. You can swing through Manhattan. It's got apparently all the levels from the console version. It's pretty epic. It struggles graphically now and again, but I'm really enjoying it. I bought that and Ollie Ollie at the same time, and I've not even loaded Ollie Ollie yet. It's been keeping me going.
Have those guys added you on Twitter yet?
One of them did, yeah. Simon did, yeah. Cool. 7 out of 10. Anne?
I've been playing Maverick Bird. It's like Flappy Bird, but only it's like also Super Hexagon. It's really good. You go through like little bits where stuff pokes out. It's like Flappy Bird. If you've seen that, you'll know what this is. I'm really bad at it.
Amazing chiptune soundtrack.
Yeah, really, really good. But I'm just terrible at it.
What's your high score?
Like 10.
I've got 30.
Shut up. That's not...
Haji, one of the stars of Sunday Surgery, she's got 32, so she's the winner. Why not write in and let us know your Maverick Bird high score?
What score?
7 out of 10.
Will, have you been playing anything?
I was playing Drop 7 on the way over here. Probably one of the best puzzle games I think ever made. A definite 10 out of 10.
Sorry, you did arrive late, didn't you? 7 out of 10.
So it's a solid game. I wouldn't say it's a 10.
No.
Really?
It's a 7. It's in the clue's in the title.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, you have to take away a point for
a point
graphics.
for 10, a point for 8, a point for 9, then
physics.
you go level 7.
Like, it's very easy to do that physics.
Yeah.
And the fact you can't use an Xbox controller on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steve?
I've been playing 10 Million, brilliant mobile game, and it's also on Steam. It's a match 3 game crossed with an RPG, a little bit like Puzzle Quest in that respect. Also got a very, very strong feeling of microtransactions about it, but there are none, at least in the Steam version. You fight monsters by lining up 3 swords or 3 staffs. You protect yourself by lining up 3 shields. And it's quite addictive. I completed it as well today. Enjoyed it. Quite short. Very good. 7 out of 10. That concludes that. We have a very special feature coming up now on One Life Left. For a birthday boy, it's Sega Badawi.
Hello, I'm Sega Badawi and welcome to One Life Left Local News. There has been accusations that the current government do not have enough women on their front bench. The opposition Nintendo leader, Ed Millipede, made the statement during Prime Minister's questions. The statement hit David Cametron and his deputy leader, Nick Chucky Clegg, hard, as the 2 women in their cabinet, Lara Croft and that woman from Heavy Rain, were both absent. Millipede, on the other hand, was able to point to Samus Aran, the Shadow Defense Minister, Nurse Joy from Pokemon, the Shadow Health Secretary, Zelda, the Shadow Transport Secretary, from that DS game where there was a train, and Princess Peach, the Minister for Cake Making, being on his front bench. Thanks, and back to your usual programming.
Thanks to Sega Badawi, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So we were just catching up more about the Rambo video, which I'm so excited about. So it's out on Friday.
Yep. Yeah, it's out on Friday. If you pre-order at the moment, we've got a exclusive 3-inch little Rambo figurine.
3-inch of Rambo.
Yeah, hand painted. Based on, we got one from the First Blood movie poster, and the other one from First Blood Part 2. So those are proving pretty popular.
What formats is this on?
This is PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
And so, what reaction do you think you're going to get to it? Because a lot of people either get the over the top stuff, or they've been writing.
Yeah,
or they haven't.
I think people will find it's, I'd say, more hardcore than they're expecting. I mean, we've been testing it for a long time. We've really put a lot of effort into the scoring systems. So, if you really want to put the effort in, you get that whole feeling of really like learning a level, learning how to maximize your scores, where the best combo opportunities are, as a kind of like larger meta game. And I think people are expecting that. It is very much kind of like a enjoy your playthrough once kind of vapid blaster, whereas we've wanted to put a level of depth in there.
So it's kind of like Ikaruga. It's the Ikaruga of 80s action films.
Well,
you can have that one for free.
We did look at treasure shooters when we were trying to like work on the combo systems. You can chain together the enemy kills.
I hope it's not black and white based, because I'm a little bit dodgy.
No. But yeah, I mean, we wanted another thing that's actually a little bit similar to it is that usually in a rail shooter you only really have one dangerous enemy in the scene, so you can take your time and pick the enemies off slowly but accurately, whereas in Rambo basically all the enemies can shoot at you.
Right.
So when you do arrive in a scene and there's 15 enemies, they're all going to be taking down your life. So you do have to work on.
You have to drive a tank into them.
Yeah.
Drive a tank into a helicopter and they all explode.
You've got to think about eliminating the most dangerous ones first and kind of thin them out. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. It's out on Friday. Good luck with
Thank
it.
You. Yeah, I'm sorry I was late for the.
No problem at all. The show actually started off with just Steve and I because Anne couldn't make it here.
All right, guys. Okay.
So
just talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah. So it's been a bit upside down, but we made it to the end.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it as well.
Have you?
Probably worth doing another shout out for Resonance FM, our host station. The total at the moment that they've raised over the last week has been £19,555, but that is not enough. So if you want to donate to Resonance, go to
resonancefm.com
or go to
Tiny URL.
Oh yeah, that tinyurl.com/sing with OLL.
And you can buy a ticket for our party, do video game karaoke with us, and it will be the best night of your life, guaranteed. That is not an actual guarantee, but it will be.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck with the game. We'll hopefully see you soon.
Yes.
Thanks for listening.
And we will speak to you all next week. Bye.
Bye.